Okay, we are live with our December 22nd hangout, a little pre-Christmas edition. Nick does not have his Santa suit on, even though it was requested. So we'll have
My
to.
roommate might have one. I'll have to ask him when he gets back.
Uh, so we are getting the heat of the season, fun time of the year, um, with lots of good competitions. You got the holiday tournaments. You have Mooresville, Al Smith, Mater Day, Connorsville, which we haven't really heard too much about this year because it looks like a couple teams left, but still some great tournaments going on. Let's talk a little bit about some past events first before we go to the future. How, Mike, you were at the Trikoff. Give us a little quick rundown. I know it seems like it was about 12 weeks ago, but it was only a couple weeks. Any big things you saw there that you liked? And you saw that, obviously Portage won, and they were pretty good.
Yeah, Portage, obviously, they're solid. They had to come from behind to beat Cathedral. I think Cathedral is going to be able to go with anyone. They have, five or six really, really good kids in their lineup that can win a lot of matches, and they won matches there. They got some big wins. 6 was a big win. 13 was a big win for them. And then, obviously, Bailey, Rifle, Ben Stewart had being there, Ball there. All those guys, Mello. Those guys are all really tough. So that was one. Cathedral, I think, was better than I thought. They were the 5 seed, I think. Obviously, we kind of talked a little bit about the seeding of it, and they do it on their own thing, which is fine. I think you don't have a seeding meeting. The coach from Calumet does it. Westfield, I think, was underseeded, and we talked about that. And they came out and they scrapped. They beat Valpo. They were in the top 8. Tons of good matches. Bailey Torres was really good. That could be, obviously Hutkins is in the mix, but that could be a state finals preview. Cam Jordan bumped up to Russell Blake, Cam Jones. He bumped up in Russell Blake, and he kind of just jumped all over everywhere. So he was there. Blake might be the best wrestler on bottom in the state. So he got reversals almost at will. And we had talked about that before too, where his mat awareness is almost second to none. Blake went up to 220 and beat Justin Akers, Crown Point. Crown Point had some really tough freshmen. I was excited to see Rehan Uribe beat Slivica, which right after Slivica beat Pointer, then Pointer beat Uribe. So Crown Point had a lot of guys. Jacob Moran looked really good at 106. I don't know why they sat him in the Portage duel. They threw Kelly out, who's also tough. But Jacob Moran really impressed me, really smooth on his feet. Jonathan Moran beat Prado. He looked really good. I was going to say he was 5-0. So Crown Point was a little bit better than I thought they were going to be. Portage, top to bottom, is really solid. Cathedral, really good. Lawrence North, I love what they're doing over there. I think that they've gotten better every year.
Yep, they're definitely. Coach Seltzer did a good job at Elkhart Memorial, and he's obviously going to do pretty well there. And the program kind of took a pretty big nosedive for a few years, and he didn't come in at the best time. So he's been definitely building them back up to state power. And
yeah,
as long as he stays there for a while, they're going to continue to improve.
And those guys all seem bought in. All those kids seem like they're having a good time, and they're all hanging out. It was basically the same 8 teams that are always on the floor. Lowell was down there, so you got to see Cummings and, Hughes down there, so you didn't have to go run around to see them. They started off in the room. Hughes gave his first reversal of his career, and then pinned a kid from Franklin. So kid from Franklin's pretty good.
Yeah.
He just made it into the rankings. Mishawaka, I think they had some guys get hurt or quit right before that, but they look solid top to bottom. Franklin always brings a good squad. Westfield, I think O'Neill does a great job over there too. I think that's always a well-coached team, and we had kind of talked them up before about how they were very underseeded, and then obviously Riley was up behind the bleachers, but they got some hammers in their lineup too. Laughlin and Goring, Breathitt, Cassius Breathitt. That kid's. I mean, I don't know if you got to see him, but he's going to be at the Al Smith, and that kid's really good. He took a loss this weekend to Stereo, so he's definitely a kid that can put on a lot of offense. Southmont's always real solid, top to bottom. Just scrappy, like strong kids. So it was basically the same it's been, but Portage Cathedral is definitely the match of the day because Portage had to come from behind and win in the last match to win the duel.
Yeah, definitely some good. I mean, I think Portage didn't match up very well with Cathedral, and most teams don't if you don't have. I mean, if you can't match some of their studs, and if you can't match guys like Ripel and Bailey and Mello, it's hard to keep up with them.
Yeah, and I know we say this every year, and Ben Stewart looked lights out, and I think it goes meet by meet. Sometimes you get Ben Stewart that looks ridiculously good, and sometimes, and I haven't seen it obviously. I only see him at the Trikoff, and at the Trikoff he's always like top level. I know he's had some injuries, but he looked like a semifinalist out there, and I know Blake was kind of chasing the tougher guys, but he looked really good. With both of them guys winning at 95, but now Blake, going to 82, that gives those guys another medal in the lineup possibly at 95. And Gall coming down. And obviously Gall the medalist at heavyweight.
Yeah, definitely. So they're definitely ones to keep an eye on. They'll be at Mooresville next week, and that should be a good test for them to see, especially with Blake down to 82 for the first time since he's Super 32 last year, 2014. So that'll be interesting to see how he does pulling a little bit of weight.
And what a great move for you're asking a guy who could probably win, a bunch of the weights. I don't want to go like weight by weight, but a guy that obviously is making a sacrifice for his team to get another guy in the lineup. And I've talked to some people. He could have did that in the summer and probably been at Who's Number One. He had already wrestled Greer, and maybe got that national exposure there like Chad Red did. Which would have been good for
him. He beat Greer, who at the Indiana Mat tournament actually in 2014. So definitely he could easily be number one at 182, and maybe if after it gets out that he is, which it's in our rankings and stuff, maybe he might move up, I guess. So any other comments from Trikoff that you saw? Any individuals or any? Obviously touched on a lot of the strong points.
There's so much going on. Not to say I didn't see anyone in the room. I didn't go back there. I'm sure there were some guys that were tough in there also. It's just way too hot. I feel bad for anyone that has to wrestle in the room. You're putting 4 teams plus parents and officials, and it's just not for me. I stayed in the main gym, got to hang out with some good people. Got to see a lot of people. Oh, I saw Bailey's grandma. She told me to tell Joe hi. We took a picture with Joe. Said she loves the show, which is great. She'll probably see Nick next week, so we'll make it all 3.
Nice. She'll probably tackle him too.
She was great.
Last week we had all the county tournaments. It seemed. I guess I'm off on this count. I don't know how big these county tournaments really are because I've never been in a area where there's a county tournament.
It's weird. They talk about how the county tournament's a really big deal, which I love my AD and I love where I work, but I don't see it. There's 6 teams. There we wasted 2 weigh-ins, for example. In 106 there was 1 match, the finals. So we wasted 2 weigh-ins for 1 match. A lot of small schools, and then you have Avon and Brownsburg. Really not worth it. I feel like if you combine it with another county or something, or brought in a couple other teams, it might be worth it. But right now, it feels like a waste of a weigh-in. It's basically an Avon Brownsburg dual meet with a couple Danville kids thrown in, and you have your 1 or 2 Plainfield kids. So that turns out to be what it is, and it's I mean, it sucks to waste that weigh-in, but it is a nice, quick day.
Yeah.
So.
You gotta have a quick day every so often. Now, everyone's saying now it's the county, and I know the love between Brownsburg and Avon is. I'm sure you guys all exchanged Christmas cards.
We did.
Saturday.
We did. It's a mutual respect.
And hatred. No.
No, we respect each other, but we also respect each other enough to know it's a rivalry, so we get after it.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's always good to have a rivalry like that. And I know there's like Marion County, Hamilton, all the county. Hendricks County. Some good wrestling. I don't even know. I can't even know. I always get Marion and Hamilton mixed up, but Carmel won Hamilton County, right?
Carmel won Hamilton.
Yes, and then Marion County it was Warren won. First time for like 30 years or something. That Warren won, which is kind of amazing.
A little off, but don't they do Marion and like city tournament the same day? Aren't that all combined?
Yeah, yes, that's two. Yeah, the city tournament is different because that's Cathedral and all the city schools, and then the Marion County. I guess the city's not a part of the county. I guess I don't know.
My Indiana geography is not as good. We know Lake Illinois geography, but I know Lake Buchanan County.
And the region. You guys just have the region.
In region.
You have the what is it? What's the big tournament? The DAC. Is that just the big tournament you have up there?
Yeah, the DAC. They do a Lake County tournament, but not all the Lake County schools go.
Must be nice.
The DAC is a conference, though.
That's their conference. That's like Portage, Maryville, Crown Point.
Here's what I'll tell you is everyone in Hendricks County was on edge because we had to have our county at the Plainfield High School, which if anyone's been following the news lately, it's been a little crazy down here.
As far as the little enrollment,
social media
yes.
frenzy.
Yes.
Of some angry child.
That
was all you guys?
Yeah.
That was right over my head. I had no clue.
Watch the news, Mike. Jeez.
We cover Chicago. We're worried about like kids getting shot in the streets.
It's real crime in Chicago. It's not making threats over Facebook.
They're calling for Rahm Emanuel's job right now, the mayor of Chicago.
The biggest thing that's happening in Hendricks County is the water man. They want him to be fired or something.
Sorry, guys.
So we got off topic there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Marion had a ton of good matches. You throw Warren Central, Perry, all those guys in Lawrence North. Obviously, at the same tournament, you're gonna have some good matchups.
Oh, yeah,
so do you think the Ripels got a Christmas card from Tante this year?
I don't know. I would. But
I'm sure.
Maybe not, because now maybe what if Cam Jones goes up and Cam Jones, just got that win.
That would be interesting. It'll be interesting if there's a shift of like Davison or Cam Jones going up. I mean, they're both big enough to handle. I mean,
Cam obviously Andrew's great. He's been wrestling like 220 also.
Yeah. So
it's almost better for Chesterton for him to wrestle. So we can get the younger brother in.
Yeah, the younger brother's been wrestling 95, and I don't think he's made. I mean, I don't think he's that big from what I've seen previously. Unless obviously he has some genes that he could be huge.
Yeah, because their dad the Giant.
Yes.
Machine. And he's a great guy.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, we'll dissect the rankings a little bit. Go over some of the big changes. They have not been released. They will be released after we get done with the show, and I correct a couple of the weights that I saw. I saw a couple things we'll probably discuss offline, but
is Devontae Malone still at 170?
I don't know, but if he is, I may get a death threat. That might be a social media. No, I did make sure I changed that. So no, he is at 160. Devontae, you are at 160. No more messages. The first one will start at 106. your most fun weight so far this year because everyone's your watch list is about six deep of guys rotate in and out.
That I would say that's the hardest weight, and it's always the hardest weight to rank because you got a lot of guys that trade losses growing up. We have a new number one.
Don't say who it is.
Sam Fair beat him. He comes back, beats Sam Fair. It's just I don't know. I think almost of the guys I've seen, probably 9 and up. I mean, I haven't seen Brayton Curtis. I've seen Greeno. I haven't seen Eagley. I've seen Wozniak. Lucas Finger's a bigger kid. 9 and up, I think all those guys can win. I haven't seen the Fisher's kid since last year.
He's tough. He's tall and lanky, and I mean he's like 6'4" or something. He's real tall. I saw him obviously up close and personal, so he's tough. Rooks is good. We'll see him this week.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Rooks.
Yeah, that's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of those guys. You'll get a little bit more sorting this stuff out this weekend or this next week because a lot of the team state and obviously the big holiday tournaments. There's a lot of potential to have fun with your rankings, mess them up.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, all these guys have losses now. Murphy's lost to Fair, Kavanaugh lost to Fair, Fair lost to Murphy. Demeen bumped up and lost to Mejia, who's actually really good too at 113. I can't get him in there. I don't know. I don't think he's in the rankings right now, but he has some really good matches.
Mm-hmm.
Both those brothers just scrap.
Yes, they are. They do.
I don't think he's in. Obviously, Ty and Asa have had 2 really good matches so far. One, it was kind of because he was under the weather, and then I heard it was a great match this last match. So Jacob Moran looked awesome at the Trikoff. I thought he was the best 106-pounder there that I saw.
Yeah, that's a fun weight, and we'll get some more sorting that out this week. We do have a little bit of a preview of the Mooresville brackets, and they are subject to change. Is that correct, Nick?
As far as I've received.
Yeah, because there's a first, well, not the first round. It's the round of 16. You have a potential matchup between Waledzek and Mills, which I'm sure you'll be eyeing that one if that stays the same. I don't know how well they change these up because half these kids have like a 3-1 record or something. I assume someone got seeded who was 3-1, and Waledzek's he has 3 losses, but they're all legit losses, at least from what I've seen.
Probably Asa, Murphy, and
Fair.
Moran.
Yeah. So those are pretty legitimate losses.
How do you feel about that, Nick? You got a guy right in the mix.
How do I feel about what?
106.
We kind of talked about it beforehand. It's a weight class full of babies at some point. That's what I always tell our 6-pounders. But they're gonna flip-flop back and forth. I don't think the thing that I've noticed this year is usually there's some stud who comes in and just runs the gauntlet, goes undefeated, and just looks like he's gonna destroy everybody. But here it's everyone's beating everybody. It's gonna be like It's gonna be like at the end of the year, it's whoever's on at that tournament wins state. You can't there's no clear-cut favorite.
Yeah.
Even you're looking in the 9 through 16 area, those guys are all tough and they're all, able to beat anybody at the right days. So and there's some kids. You have Ben Streeter who dropped out this week. He was overtime from being a placer last year. So that's and he's at 17 pretty much right now. So that's gonna be a fun weight come state tournament time, and obviously this coming week with a lot of these guys hitting each other. 13, Cummings is holding steady, even though he doesn't have a Twitter. Hate that. I want to tweet your name, Colton. And he'd be probably one of the most fun kids to follow on Twitter because he is very interesting. Any changes up at 13 you see?
Nothing too crazy. Colton finally made 13. So there was some talk about him staying at 20, And I know some people are like, yeah, he's not going to make it. And I know he was at 14 for the tri-call, so he finally made 13. Schaefer made 13, which
Are you sure? Because I heard that he is like really close friends. He said they're staying at 20.
I got a pretty good source with those guys, and it sounds like he made 13. He
If you say
wrestled.
so.
And I don't think they're ducking it. Obviously, there's good kids at every weight, and I think Colton belongs at. He's not as tall as some of the other 120s, and I think that Alec White's going to be really good there. Turner's obviously there, and he'll see Slates this weekend or this week, but. He's the best. He was the best 106-pounder by far last year. I know maybe some of the matches were closer, but I think at 13, he really gives Lowell a chance to be in the top 5 with some really good kids. I don't think much changed after that. Maybe down at bottom, some of the guys, Anakin sounds like he's ready to come back. He'll be back in there. I was looking at some of these weights. They're just really good weights.
Yeah. Now the top 3 or 4 in each weight, it's gonna be fun come state time. 20 is gonna be that looks like fun. Rogowski, Hildebrand, Wright, Brooks, Hunt, Langlow, Prada. Geez, you look at. You have returning state champ that's 3rd right now.
At 20 though, real quick, I want to give a shout out to old King D for he took a pretty rough injury this year, dislocated elbow. I don't know if he's coming back or not, so
yeah.
Hope you feel better. Hope you get better, Kim, and can make it back out. But if not, man, it sucks to go that way. But it's glad to hear you'll continue your wrestling career. So.
Yeah, I heard that this weekend too, and that's tough because you don't want to see anyone's season end on an injury. And that kid's everywhere. Like you see him every summer result, and it seems like he's a really good kid too. So,
yeah.
Even outside the top 6 or 16 here, Noah Hunt just got a win tonight against Stevenson. Mason Miranda, Moser was a state qualifier. Triana will be back. McMillan and Castro. So you got Smiley's out there. So you got all these that's 120 ends up being the deepest weight every year, which is crazy because you're getting these 6-pounders growing into 120 and you get these guys staying at 120.
Yes, definitely. 26, another fun one. Hudkins, Torres, Bailey. Some good matches. Bailey won't see Torres, will he?
He already seen Torres at the
Hudkins, sorry.
Maybe no.
I don't think they see each other.
We can see Hudkins Torres at the Al Smith.
Yeah, we will possibly.
Possibly.
Yes.
Hudkins probably made 26. I know he had been wrestling up. This is one of those weights too, where it's just Hudkins pinned Gomez, and I know that was close last year. How'd that go, Nick?
To be honest, I was not in the gym during that match, so I couldn't tell you.
Were you having a talk with one of your wrestlers?
I was having a lively discussion.
Celebrate with Blake Murky, right?
Yeah, me and Blake Mulkey, we were hanging out, having a good time. Today he complained that we yelled at him too much, so he's real tough.
Well, he got a big, huge win. That's awesome. That's a great win for him at 20.
He did. It was really cool how he got hit for stalling at the end. But no, that was a big win for him. But no, yeah, I was not there. Sorry, I couldn't say how close it was.
What?
It was a pin.
I
think it was the first period pin. I just kind of wanted to see how I got broke down, but I mean, top 4 there is awesome. Top 5, top 4, finalist, 2-time semifinalist, champ, and a finalist.
Yeah, definitely. 32, Red, Malloy, Mello, Black, Doster, Gunset. There's some good kids there. You're gonna have some guy. Red's obviously ahead above everybody, but if he doesn't take someone seriously, these guys are good enough to give him a good run too. Doster's a pretty good athlete, and
yeah,
you just can't overlook guys like that no matter how good you are. I mean, obviously Malloy took Red down a couple times last year, so pretty in a good weight. Any changes there that I mean, I think I see it a little bit towards the bottom, but I'm not
Yeah,
comparing.
yeah. I think the top of the weight's kind of been the same. Brookbank, all those guys, but then like Boone Welliver came down from 45, just jumped to 38. Was wrestling 32. Crary Silmer, Conley took a loss to Malloy. He has a couple losses to Skylar Collins, Allman, Tolan. I think those guys are kind of all trading. And then Strasma, state qualifier last year, cut down on. So he's on the watch list right now. I know he had a couple losses. I mean, that's just one of those weights. I think a lot of the weight changes come between like 10 and 16, and I think that's kind of one of those weights.
Yeah.
38. I was surprised that I didn't see more guys jump to 38 when we said that Nick wasn't going to wrestle, Nick Lee.
Yeah.
And obviously it can still happen. But this is a weight I feel like it's almost wide open too. I think these guys are all pretty good. Sage is really good. Eldred, we saw it. Trikoff, he's obviously really good. Crary's good. Crary had a tough one with the Portage kid right away, and then won in overtime, and then I think he got falls the rest of the day. McKinney, a huge win over Ellis at the Marion County, wrestling great.
Yeah, and Hatch is tough. Hatch is a funky wrestler that you won't. I mean, he's hard to gauge how. I mean, because he's one that likes to put points up on the board, and will, he'll put points on the board for you. So I mean, he could hang with any of those guys too. I mean, he's a two-time placer, so good weight. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see some guys kind of make that drop, and obviously some might have to wait a couple weeks for weight loss plan stuff because they might have been certified there and just said, let's wait and see, and that kind of stuff. So we'll see.
Honestly, the one I was really shocked that didn't go up was Malloy. Because he had been wrestling 38, and then, not that Chad Red's unbeatable, but he's been unbeatable in Indiana so far. And, you lose a guy like Nick Lee, and that kind of opens up a weight, but it sounds like he's going to be at 32 for a little bit, and, good for him to chase, the guy that's going for 4.
Yeah, definitely.
Great for the fans. Great for me. I'm a fan.
Yeah. Moving up, 45. Pretty good weight. Brad Laughlin from Yorktown, I believe, has made the weight or was supposed to.
It made the weight tonight.
Okay, well then that's it. So that adds to another. I mean, that's pretty good weight. I mean, you look at semi-states. You have Joe and Brayton Lee, Vaughn's from Newcastle. You have Laughlin or Eicher from Fort Wayne, and then you have Tristan Rodriguez or McIntosh from Maryville. It's pretty evenly spaced up there in the top 8 by semi-state almost. It's kind of crazy. But
Austin Laughlin's been wrestling out of his mind. I mean, he's like one of those guys that when he gets hot, he looks like at the semi-state last year, he looked ridiculous. Like I was like, this guy's getting a medal. He might be in the semis, and then lost Friday night. I think he's almost majored or pinned everyone this year. Mm-hmm. So, and he'll be at Al Smith, so we get to see him and Casper. I think that's only the two highest, right?
Yeah. Colza will be there. Logan Coyle from Center Grove will be there. So not as a couple weights at the Al Smith are just absolutely crazy, but that's one of the less deeper weights. I mean, that's just looking at the rankings. I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 other guys that are semi-state qualifiers from last year or previous placers.
Yeah, and not to always plug our rankings. I think we do a good job, and we get a lot of information. But I think a lot of people would just line it up like, here's your qualifiers, here's your medalist. Where we got Brayton, who's obviously one of the better kids in the state, ranked 2, and Jared Timmerman, who's one of the better kids in the state, but hasn't been at the state finals. Kind of had some bad draws. Is 6, and I think that's just one of those things. Like we don't really always say, okay, this guy is the best because he has a medal.
Yeah. Usually that's how they start, but then after that we gotta start weeding those out. 52, pretty good weight there. Bam's sitting there. Pretty
I should
looks like it's pretty steady weight. It's gonna be a good one at the Al Smith. You have we'll start getting into that, but the one that people kind of need to keep their eye out on, I think, is Zach Lorick from Crown Point, who's a third placer from Illinois. That is there. Who did he beat the other day? I can't remember. I know he has a couple good wins.
Yeah, he lost to Lemley in overtime, and then he kind of dropped. And I'm not like got to bash, but Bam took him down, cut him, took him down, pinned him. So Bam's wrestling is ridiculous, but I think Caleb McCormick is the guy that he had that big win last year and lost Friday night. He's had some really good wins this year. He beat Vaughn. Vaughn bumped up. He beat Vaughn. Caleb McCormick, that's a guy I think is going to be in the mix for a title.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Dunn is a guy, too, that I was so impressed with last year, just the way he scrambled and moved. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't overlook guys like Denzel Princess, who's wrestled every weight from 145 to like 195, I think, in the past 2 years.
He's exciting, too. He brings a great style.
Yeah, and he gets on. He can definitely take any of those top 8 guys, and obviously he'll probably get his shot with Bam and Sturgill and Breathitt and Lemley and Levitz and a couple other guys. That's a decent weight class at the next week. 160. I do have to correct your rankings. Berkebile will be at 52 from everything I have heard. So,
nice.
So yes, and congratulations to him to get his eligibility back. Good to hear a good guy wins once in a while. It's kind of hearing enough of and we won't go on it too much, but it's good to hear that these guys are getting, the good guys win, and he's going to be able to wrestle. And I'm pretty certain he won the ECIC and his county tournament just last week. So good couple. He's been itching to go, and it's good to see he's back. 160. Not too many changes. You go all the way down, and number 12 is a state qualifier. Number 15 is a guy that placed and has a medal. You look at all these guys. That's a tough weight class, top to bottom. Kuvac, but then everyone else. Even Kuvac isn't totally unbeatable, but all those guys look pretty tough, top to bottom. Anyone that's jumping out at you that you're itching to go see?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see this Al Smith. This is gonna be nasty.
Oh yes.
Wayne, Kovac, Raider,
Garmin,
Tor, Malone,
Bussy. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a fun one to seed. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
6 guys with state experience.
And I think that a guy like Fator is going to get kind of left behind on that because he didn't finish the season last year, but he could have been. He was a runner-up at the Al Smith last year.
Yeah.
So where do you place him in? Tavante Malone might have had the most exciting match of the state finals Friday night last year with Jordan.
Yeah. Well, you also have Gleason Mappis. He's a state qualifier. He's not even in the rankings right now. He's got a few losses. Ronnie Longbreak, who was a semi-state qualifier and placed 4th there last year at that weight, he's back. There's like 10 guys that have pretty solid criteria that about any other weight they would be seeded, and they're going to be left to the draw, and it's going to be interesting who draws who.
Kind of like Austin Bain and Jake Ruberg from Lawrenceburg, where it was a really great match. I got a lot of messages about that, saying how great of a match that was. Bain pulled it out, but it's good to see Ruberg back out there. He missed last year with a knee.
Definitely, it's going to be. That's a pretty good weight, top to bottom. Again, I don't know if that's the getting away from Hughes type thing, but it's going to be. We had a lot of 50. It's a lot of guys stayed at 60 this year, and not very many. There really weren't that many 52s that end up having to move up. So 70, Hughes, Walton, Gray, Baumgartner, pretty good weight. Again, any big changes?
Uh, Hunter Moat from Delphi beat Tristan Goring, so Tristan dropped, and we moved Hunter up. Hunter was up. I wasn't really sure what he was going to be. We had him at 82. Now he's at 70. But I don't think we moved too much. He moved up. Goring moved down. Walton moves into 2. Walton, Gray, Baumgartner, those guys. Stombaum is really good too. So I mean, that's the semi-state. Maryville is gonna. Hughes probably would be the favorite there, obviously. Walton would be the favorite. Baumgartner, Gray. I think Gray's beat him the last couple times, right?
Yeah, that's regional level. So someone's getting someone 70-pounder is getting a death draw.
Yeah.
And
then
that loser.
Stombaum will beat Picasso, and obviously I think Ricky Samuels is the sleeper in that one.
Yeah, he had a good weekend at the Marion County. Beat some good guys, and he's tough to wrestle. I mean, he's about 4'6" and as wide as he is tall, but that's built with muscle, not pudge.
Yeah, and he's fast, and he's strong, and he's fast.
Yes, he'll be an interesting. I mean, he'll be an interesting matchup for possibly Hughes this week. Or even Baumgartner. Anyone that he's gonna see. He's just a tough. I mean, he's hard to wrestle. You don't get to. You're wrestling 170-pounders. You're thinking guys that are a little bit taller, and he's not that tall. So he's a. I mean, if you get him at semi-state, if it's a bad matchup, you're going to be in trouble. So.
And this is kind of one of those weeks where it's like 106. So Ishmael Cornejo is a state qualifier. He beat Ricky Samuels at the Trikoff. He lost to Christian Warren. Christian Warren beats Des Goddard, but he lost to Jonah Hay. So that's kind of one of those weights too. And these guys are all trading losses, and it's like, all right, how can we set this up where because you don't get the messages where guys lose. It's not like, oh yeah, Ricky Samuels beat me. It's like, well, I beat Ricky Samuels. Why am I ahead of him?
Yes.
You don't get the message where it's like, yeah, well, we lost here, so.
Yeah, you don't. It's always funny because you always get the messages that say, oh, why aren't I above him? Because I beat the guy that beat him, but you failed. You forget that little piece of information: the 3 losses you have to guys that are lower ranked.
Yeah. So just kind of go back to that same thing. So Jonah Hay beats Christian Warren, like Wednesday. Christian Warren loses to Ricky Samuels. Jonah Hay comes out, loses to Jake Moore. So, congratulations, Jake Moore. He's in the rankings.
Yes. Nice. That's why you get paid the big bucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's always really good about it. I make a joke, but everyone's awesome. Even the guys right after that are really tough. Ethan Runyon, Zach Davis from Concordia was a qualifier. Matua, Stassen, Propney, Tanner Webster. That's a good weight top to bottom, too. That's a weight I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, Zach Davis qualifier last year, the biggest thing that's hurt some kids, and he's probably one I'm just going to point out, but not a lot of really good results. I mean, I won't say not good results, but he just doesn't wrestle schedule with a lot of tough, state-ranked guys. So he's a good wrestler. I know I've seen him in person a few times. It's a matter of, if you get those ranked wins and it helps, even if it is a loss to a guy like Gray or one of your top guys.
Yeah.
That's always one of those things that hurts some kids. Towards the end, you get those messages. Well, he's undefeated. Who has he wrestled? I mean, being undefeated is good, but if you have 5 solid losses, that's probably better. That's going to get you higher ranked if you have 5 solid losses. And
that's the Drake Rhodes thing. Like, we knew Drake Rhodes was really good, but he had 8 losses last year, and they're all ranked kids.
Yeah.
And not that he complained, but he's always a guy I like to use because he was like a guy who's like, okay, he's wrestled everybody.
Yeah. He got that draw because he had a tough conference where he had 4 guys that went to state. So plus they wrestled a pretty decent schedule other than that. 182, the big change, Ripel, number 1, drops down. That's the big one. That's going to be interesting. And I wonder if we're going to have the kind of a little bit of a Nick Lee type effect if Davison, Jones, David Eli has even wrestled a lot 95.
Yeah, that maybe the effect I thought Nick Lee was gonna have when he moved out of that weight. This is I could see some of these guys moving. Obviously, Andrews wrestled up at 220. David Eli's wrestled up. Cam Jones has been everywhere, and he's wrestled everyone.
Yes.
And I mean, that's what you want to do. Like, he went out there and wrestled Blake and went at him, and it wasn't a blowout. And I'm sure, like, not only does he get better for that, I'm sure Blake appreciates that,
Yeah, I mean, that's good for, someone at that level of Ripel you're going to get, most of the time you're not going to get those type of matches until it's semi-state time, and that's good for the sport, it's good for the kids to, go bang heads, and get after it going up a weight. It's always fun, I know, to watch and see when, you hear, oh, so-and-so's bumping up. I got to see Jones and Eli. Jones bumped up to wrestle David Eli, and it was a good match. They got after it. Good for those guys to get those type of matches. The first week of the season.
Well, and that's the thing I think that people kind of lose sight of. We went and seen Hobart Lowell, and they raised Drew Hughes' hand, and he was upset because you forget that these kids love to wrestle. Like, they look forward to that. Like, oh, Wednesday night, I'm counting down the hours from school so I can go out here and compete, and then. Like, yeah, forfeit's great, but these dudes want to get out there and go,
Yeah, definitely. 95, I guess the big change, Tante is number 1 now. Good weight. Tante and didn't he beat Stewart at semi-state in the ticket round a few years ago, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
they're both freshmen.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a love there.
Ben Stewart's had some tough ticker rounds. Didn't he have Mason Paris last year?
Yes.
Tristan Tante and Mason Paris.
He needs to move to Fort Wayne semi-state. He'll get an easy draw there.
He looked awesome, man. And I know he does the football thing, and he looked really good. Kyle Schaefer looked really good last year. Nick Fox had a weekend, right?
Yeah.
He pinned Schaefer, who I thought looked phenomenal at the Trikoff, and he pins him, and he pinned Colby Ferris from Hamilton Southeastern too. Guy put a weekend together. I think he jumped from like 16-7.
Yeah, he was like a 160-pounder last year, I think. Actually, no. Yeah, he was 160 last year, so he's obviously found that weight room area.
Because what's the 45-pounder, like Jack Ella Jr.?
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to say his name. He was like a 120. Now he's at 45.
Fox actually has some connection. His grandpa was the head coach at Carroll for about 84 years, I think. So and his dad actually wrestled there. So interesting connection. So that 195 looks kind of. You look at the names, you don't see a lot of the big names, but some. It's gonna by the end of the year. I think this weekend they'll probably sort it out a little bit, kind of who the better kids are.
We got to see Modern Day's lineup. So we put Seth Orthen at 82, and then I put Curtis Wilderman in at 95, and he's really good. He's a great athlete. I think he plays quarterback for those guys too.
Nice.
So
220. This will be a fun one. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys bang heads when they finally do meet up. You have Woods, Paris, Gunnar Larson, Gould, Evan Ellis, Hipple. Man, this top 6 are pretty tough.
Yeah.
All have state medals, so any big changes there towards the bottom?
Walter Hare from North Central had a good Marion County. We got him in. Really, that was kind of it. We didn't really. Chase Dixon won the Jeff Classic. We got him in. Other than that, it's been pretty much the same. And Cornelius Knox Ebbett falls out. Nate Long falls out. And those guys are really good too. So I think that's one of those weights where you can go 20 deep and still have some really competitive guys.
Definitely. We'll move to 285. You there?
Yeah, sorry. When I scroll down on the bracket, it messes up.
Okay.
So this is the same as 106. Like, Number one, obviously, has been number one, and I think he went over to Illinois and didn't even wrestle a full 2 minutes. But then you got all these guys trading losses here too. So Robert Samuels beat Gio Merlo, but then lost to a kid from Lawrence Central, Ethan Bruce, and then we had Henson really high. He lost to Slick Ricky.
Slick Rick.
Slick Rick.
That dude can dance to what is this? Gucci 2 Time. That's his jam. and he did it for his bae Jameson.
Wow.
So
You just, I don't understand what you're just
where
saying.
we're going now.
These are all words I'm learning from children. It's okay.
I'm sure they're kosher. Pretty good weight. That's going to be another one at Al Smith that should have a little bit of fun, especially seeding now that you put in Ethan Bruce, who now has criteria over a state qualifier, and then you throw in guys like Gallagher, Samuels,
Merlo.
Amos, and they get to earn the privilege to wrestle Streck. Isn't that fun evening you have planned?
Yeah, I loved it when I talked to one of the Maryville coaches. They said that Streck's the hardest worker. He won't let you rotate out, and he's going to wrestle you for like 20 minutes as hard as he can.
I know I'm not going to get within 1,000 feet of the Maryville wrestling room.
No, those guys are better guys than I am, and if they're saying that it's hard, I believe them.
Yeah. Move on. Big tournaments coming up this coming week. Al Smith, obviously that's probably the crown jewel. The best tournament right now in the state. Just the amount of kids. I think I counted. This was before our new rankings. There were like 68 ranked guys. I'm sure it's right about there. Just top to bottom, just loaded. Go through a few of the weights. I do have kind of the rankings breakdown. 106 has Damian, Kavanaugh, Rooks, Lucas Finger, all there. Just pretty good weight. 13 Cummings and Slates will be good. Slates coming off an injury last year. And Jake Schoenegg from Columbus East, and one of those another one of their top freshmen. And then Colin Pointer. And then you throw in guys like Christian Mejia, Zach Sadiki, who was a high placer there, placed 6th there last year. So another good weight. 120. I'm kind of interested. Hildebrandt Rooks.
Yeah.
And then
how about Rich going 1-0 with the Kentucky kid, Irvin.
Yeah.
1-0.
Rooks is tough, and I think he's even kind of going up to 120 kind of as a for the team, because he wrestled 116 at Indiana Mat tournament. If you're gonna make 16 in the off season, in September, I'm sure you can make 13 during the season. So
those guys are doing a good job over there too with Little Rooks, showing all Rooks, and then Comcast. Yeah, those guys are, and then Gallagher. Those are some really good guys.
Definitely, and they're all those first 4 weights are all freshmen or sophomores. So,
yep.
126. That's going to be a fun one. We have, per the last rankings, I haven't updated it. You have 1, 3, 8, 10, 11, 14, 16. That's if you're counting, that's 7 ranked guys. Hudkins, Torres, De La Pena, Hardesty, Becker, Mejia, and Comist. And
I'm sure Nick would agree. You're always going to see some potential state finals matches at this tournament, and you got a returning state champ wrestling a returning runner-up. So,
You there, Nick? Any comments on the toughness of the Al Smith?
I won it once, and then I got beat once. It's really hard.
It's really hard. And thank you for your expert.
Yeah.
Going through look at 32. There's 6 ranked guys: Malloy, Black, Gunset, Ray Pohl, Crary, Nick Smith, and then you got Jarrett Salas from Penn, who's right on the side. I don't know if he might have jumped in the rank. I know he's right on the cusp of being ranked. I think he's at 32. I just put him down there in my little watch list.
Who's that?
Celis from Penn.
Yeah, he got a big win in that Penn and Mishawaka duel. He pinned Hardesty.
Yeah. So another, tough weight. 38 looks, you only have 3, I think maybe 4 guys that should be ranked, 4 or 5 guys that are ranked. Hatch and Carrera will be a good match. They're both goers. They both I'm interested because they both put a lot of points on the board, and they're going to be in on each other's legs constantly. That's if they make it that far, that's going to be another good weight. 45 McIntosh, Laughlin. We talked about that. Throwing Colza and Deshaun Bayless from Peru, who's had some good wins for them. And that kind of starts Peru's little run of pretty good kids. 52, 6 ranked guys. Bam Lawrence, Peyton Sturgill, Doug Levitz, Denzel Prentice, Breathitt, and Diego Lemley. And that doesn't even include guys like Garrett Griffin from Northwood, Kenny Kern, Logan Coyle. Coyle's ranked, isn't he?
Yeah, he's right now.
So he just moved in. Tavares Evans, he's right on the outside. There's some good guys. Is Castanelis or Leon at 35 or 52?
Matt Burns and Angelo Gennaro. They've been switching off on wrestle off. So Castanelis and Leon are both at 38.
Okay.
Just to have that nice depth in Holbert's room.
Yes. So another good weight. 160 is probably another one that there are 7 ranked guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. 6 guys with state experience: Kuvac, Swank, Raider, Tavante Malone, Gleason Mappis, Josh Garman. You had Adam Fator, who's a returning runner-up, didn't wrestle state series. Tony Bussey, who's had some good wins. That's gonna be a fun one. Definitely. 70 has 6 ranked guys: Hughes, Goring, Bumgarner, Corneo.
I have 7 now because we got Hayes in there.
Oh, yeah, we got 7 then. And so, yeah, another tough weight. And then you have some other guys. I'm not going to look forward to that seating meeting, but hopefully it'll be easy.
It'll be quick.
Yes.
Like always.
Yes.
Although, it was Belmont was saying that they want to go to Texas Roadhouse afterwards. If you're going to go to God's country, you not go to a chain restaurant. You go to the many delicious restaurants that Mishawaka offers, like Doc Pierce's.
I'm going over to Ann's house.
We'll go. Ann can cook a home-cooked meal, Joe. I think she owes you.
Yes. I've kept you out of trouble and safe, so.
I will say that if you showed up at her house, she would cook you a meal, so. I'll give you the address.
Okay. Offline?
No, we'll do it. I want everyone to go visit her. Just drop in.
Nice. Have a line of wrestlers from like 30 schools.
It wouldn't be the first time that's happened.
182, Davison, Jones, Eli. That'll be a good.
That's. You have 3 of the top 3 are there. That's amazing. That's
that'll be
ridiculous.
A fun one. 95 has Klimola and Hobbs from the last rankings. I don't know if anyone else is.
That's the only 2 I had. 220 is like that too.
Yeah, 220 has Woods, Davis, Blake Davis, Corey Heinrichs, and Derek Paz. Those top 4 are pretty good. And then you throw in guys like Cutter from Chesterton and possibly Brandon Streck, who placed there last year. I don't know.
I think he said that he was going to be back for this.
Yeah. And then heavyweight, we have 6 ranked guys now. Because you had Ethan Bruce, Streck, Samuels, Giovanni, Gallagher, Amos, and Ethan Bruce. Good weight. Just every one of those weights is just loaded top to bottom. Kind of excited to be a part of it again and excited for the seating meeting. Hopefully it'll be done before weigh-ins start. That's my goal. They'll serve breakfast at the first seating meeting. They'll serve breakfast at. Any comments from you guys on the Al Smith before we move on to the other tournaments?
Hey man, it's a heck of a tournament. It's exciting. So let's get after it.
Yeah. Any weights you're looking forward to, Mike?
I really want to see that Davis and Cam Jones. You got a lot of number 1 ranked guys there, or even top 4 guys. So there's always going to be someone that just comes out of nowhere, and you're like, wow, this guy is a lot better than I thought, or maybe he was underranked, and and that's the beauty of the sport. That's the beauty of this tournament.
Definitely, and it will help you. It's good because you have teams from Indy, Fort Wayne area, the region, and even Evansville with Center Grove and teams like Princeton,
Columbus East.
Yeah, Columbus East teams that go to Evansville, and you really don't get to see that very often, where you get all 4 semi-states and some of their top teams represented. So that's always fun. Moving on, I think the kind of a one we've talked about that's really grown is the Mooresville tournament. Nick, I know you guys are getting into that.
Yeah, we're heading back after a year. Last year we were at Connorsville, and just decided to go this year because it's a little bit closer for us. And with Fort Wayne and Team State, that's 2 overnights we have to take, so it's easy on our budget.
I don't want box nachos.
Yeah, Brownsburg, Castle, Cathedral. Yeah, I'm looking through Jennings County, another pretty tough team. They're going to be at Team State. Monrovia is a real good small school. They have a few good guys that are right there.
Is Yorktown still there?
Yep, Yorktown and
Yorktown's there.
Westfield. So that's a pretty good weight. Pretty good tournament. I think I have from the previous. These are from the updated rankings actually. 36 ranked guys. So you're averaging about 2 or 3 a weight, which is pretty good. I mean, you have 106 Mills, Braden Curtis, and Willedzek. Willedzek and Mills will be real early.
Yeah.
They
don't care about rankings.
Yes, rankings.
Yeah.
You got, 26. You have Bailey, Isaac Gomez, Jack Franklin, Carson Willis.
Yeah.
And 38.
I gotta step away for a second, guys.
Uh-oh. In trouble.
Yeah.
Mello and Rhodes at 32. The other big weights, 52, McCormick, Heron, and Tresden O'Neill back.
I'm always excited to see Tresden O'Neill because he always has like a super good record. I know he was in the last year he lost in semi-state, and obviously he's been tough. So I'm excited to see him out there.
Yeah, 95 is gonna be a fun one. Garrison Lee, I don't think he's wrestled yet. He's a little hefty on the weight, but he had a deep football run, so I think he should probably be making his way back. Garrison Lee, Ben Stewart, Nick Schaefer, Christian Redmond. That's gonna be a fun weight. Sort some things out there. See how does Stewart match up with those guys. 220 has Gould, Scroggs, and Jennings County, Brady Shepherd. So pretty good tournament overall, and they keep growing that tournament, adding good teams. There's 23 teams in there, it looks like now. So even teams like Edgewood has good kids. Mooresville has some good kids. Plainfield, all those guys have good teams.
And I will say Little didn't wrestle this weekend, so I don't know if he'll be in there, but they sent him in to get seated.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I didn't know if he
Who
would
didn't
be.
wrestle this weekend?
Bill didn't wrestle in the county tournament.
Yeah, they said he had a torn pectoral.
Yeah, they seated him in that too, but he didn't show up, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's some good weights there. The other events we're looking forward to, Modern Day Classic, the longest 16-team tournament ever. I think they run on like 2 mats.
Oh,
I think it's 3 or something like that, but it seems like they run it slow. Mater Dei, New Pal, Union County, a couple good Kentucky teams that go there.
Trinity too, right? Trinity and Union County.
Yeah. Some
Belleville from Illinois.
Avon, they're there. I'm trying to pull that up right now.
Was it like Bellevue West is like the Illinois school that goes?
Yeah. So they there's the teams right there. Evansville Memorial has some good kids. Franklin Community, Mount Vernon, and New Pal goes down there. So it's good tournament. A lot of good kids. For only 16 teams, they have a lot of good quality in those teams.
I wonder what the kids from Kentucky think when they get to wrestle Chad Red.
Yes.
And Joe Lee's and.
Yes.
I mean, there's some really good Kentucky. That's like the cream of the crop of Kentucky, but those guys are really good too.
Yeah. No, those kids are tough. The Connersville, we haven't heard too much. There hasn't been very much talk on it. I'm not even sure if they have 32 teams again. So I know like Brownsburg left, Zionsville's up at the Al Smith now. Carroll wasn't there. We took our second team there, but so it'll be interesting to see what Connersville. I mean, there's always tough kids. You have 32 teams. You're gonna have some tough matches.
Cathedral left too. Cathedral was at Connersville for a while too, right?
Yep, Cathedral was. Lebanon was. I don't know if Lebanon is in it again. And I don't even know the dates of Connersville, to tell you the truth. That's how far out. I mean, there hasn't been much talk about it. Usually there's a little bit of talk, and there hasn't been much. So it's kind of a bummer because it's a great tournament, has a huge history. I mean, I know like Roncalli's gone there for like 84 years, but it's good. It's a good tournament. It's just kind of the location's probably hurting it more than anything. And that's any other things that you're looking forward to the next week. I know, was it North Montgomery has a good event going on. They have Bloomington.
Northmont
Yeah, Bloomington South. Northmont's pretty good.
Perry used to be there. Is Perry still there?
No. I don't see any other teams that jump out at me. But I mean, they have like New Haven there, has some good kids. Huntington North has some good kids from up north. Pendleton Heights usually they have the Floods. I believe they might be close to the rankings.
Yeah, I think Tyler Flood, maybe 38 is ranked, and then Tony's right outside, I think.
Yeah.
Either way, one of those two.
Yes. But some good tournaments going on, and get all the holiday stuff going on. So that's how wrestlers spend their holidays. So they can't eat. They just go practice 6 times. They practice on Christmas and stuff. Anything else you see that you're looking forward to before we jump on Team State?
Just the amount of rankings and results we get to add in.
Oh yes, that's good. That's a fun couple days of data entry. We need to hire some helper monkeys.
I'm gonna go out to Al Smith and it's gonna take me 3 days to recover with that group.
Yeah. So definitely have a lot of results. One thing I mentioned to you, Mike, the other day was how many of our top guys in the rankings have rankable losses. I mean, there's only a few that I can look at and say they don't have a rankable. I don't want to say rankable loss, a rankable match, whether it's a win or loss. I mean, most of them have 2 or 3, and I don't know if that's just luck of the draw that all the top guys are hitting each other this early, or or people are just what it is. But it's pretty nice to see that you're looking through the rankings and you can get a good estimate of why guys are ranked where they are, because they have 2 or 3 rankable matches.
Yeah, and I think we've done a good job of uploading that and kind of being adamant about that so far, because it takes time, and not that it's hard because it's really set up very easily. But I think that's like one of the things as a site. It's great to go in there and be like, hey, I've seen this guy. He looks phenomenal. He's probably never lost. And he's like, oh, he lost to this guy, this guy, this guy. And then you're like, well, I really want to see that guy.
Definitely, and it helps kids. I mean, they know that they have to go up. They want to see a good kid. It helps their ranking if they go up to bump up a weight, or they know coming up to this tournament I have so and so that I'm gonna perform. And if I beat him, I might jump up to 5 or 6, whatever it is, in the rankings. So, but no, I just scrolling through the rankings. I mean, like at 126, there's Austin Holmes is the only one without a match, and I don't even know if I think.
Yeah, I slipped on that one. I hadn't seen the Hendricks County. He actually beat the little heat stand. I gotta add that in.
Okay, so he does have one. So that's pretty. So everyone at 126 has a rankable match. So that's pretty cool.
And that's why we do the rankings right at the top of our head.
Yep.
I thought we just picked him out of a hat.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Chad Rudd doesn't have any rankable wins, but I think we'll let that one slide.
You got this really good one. These two in Pennsylvania.
Yes, yeah. So, go on to Team State. That's going to be happening a week and a half-ish, the 2nd, at Fort Wayne. So come out. We will be having a special show on Sunday with all the draws and everything and analysis. Whoa.
I'm a fill-in.
Okay. Are you excited to come to Team State?
To Team State? Yeah, I haven't gone yet.
Okay.
The one I always miss.
It's going to be at Fort Wayne. It's going to be, God's country. You think Mishawaka's God's country, but it's really Fort Wayne.
You get so far out that way, and it's all the same.
It's not Chicago. So someone here laughs at that comment.
I agree completely.
So we will have our draw show. Nick, what are you looking forward to at Team State? Seeing me?
I mean, I love to see you. I got a buddy who loves to talk about Team State, but yeah, no, I can't wait to see Joe and hang out, see Mike, the family, the group get together, and I haven't been to Team State since they've done it this way to compete, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be a part of it. It was always fun at Greenwood. Now it's time to come up and do it again. It's always the most exciting part of the year for me. So I'm gonna go get my buddy though. He's pretty good at these things. So I'll let you guys discuss.
I'm excited. Region team's finally gonna be represented. Because so many years, like the teams from the region were declining to go. Maryville, Crown Point were declining, and now Portage is in. And I'm excited to kind of, have someone to pull for, man.
You can pull for Carol.
I know. We'll pull for you guys too. I go in and said never have a dog in the fight, but you know where my home's at, my life.
No, that should be good. 3A or 1A, you have Prairie Heights is.
Yeah. What a win for Prairie Heights, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. They beat Yorktown. They beat Yorktown. We're at Yorktown.
Yeah, brothers. Nasty Nicky Dubs here to give you the answers on the Team State. Been a while. I've been around here. And let me tell you, I've got some ideas about the 3A tournament. Let's start with the #1 ranked team, Warren Central. It's your first time coming into the big house, and you're definitely the favorites. 9 returning state placers. It's amazing. Ooh, yeah. Gonna be crushing, but you're gonna have to get past #2 Mater Dei, the perennial powerhouse. They may be down a lead, but let me tell you something, brother. They're coming. They're coming hard because they're not used to losing, and they're not gonna start this year. Tante, you better be ready. The Wildcats are on a tear. But let's not count out the last 3 out of 5 state championship Perry Meridian Falcons. Brother, they may have lost their king, but let me tell you, they brought up one of the greater youngins I've ever seen. Ryan McClurg's over there helping make sure that program is so sweet. Yeah, they have ranked kids everywhere. Don't be surprised to see the Falcons coming in and running away with the championship, brother. Ooh, yeah. Then we go up north. We got Portage, Leroy Vega. You may know that Sissy Brock, Lesnar. But you're not ready for this kind of tough technique, baby. Ugh. You're going to have Bam coming out strong if you guys are going to get it. You had a great showing at Calumet. Can you follow up here at the toughest tournament in Indiana? Give me a holla, brother. Woo! You got Brownsburg. Those Bulldogs. My roommate, he's a coach there. He's an idiot. Don't know how they're good. But let me tell you, they got a couple hammers on their team. They got that Nathan Walton kid. He broke the roommate's nose today. Bleeding everywhere. It was gross. You got Brayton Lee, who doesn't seem to stop ever. You got slick Ricky Clark, who's bringing upset city to this town. Any day, anything can happen, brother. Those Bulldogs can pull it off. Are they the favorite? No, but I think they're ready for the challenge, brother. And then you have the Penn Kingsmen. Oh, those Penn Kingsmen. Returning state champs. Never count them out. They're going to be putting on a show at the Al Smith and then driving on down to Fort Wayne Coliseum, brother.
That's going east, actually. That's not down. It's straight over.
Excuse me, what is your name?
The 800-pound gorilla.
It doesn't matter what your name is! Ladies and gentlemen, all I can tell you is this. Nasty Nicky Dubs is giving you the direction. You need to head east, west, south, north, whatever it takes to get to Fort Wayne Coliseum to come support the greatest event in all of Indiana wrestling, brother. Ooh, yeah! I'm getting out of here now because my parole officer's on his way over probably, and I got to take care of this, so I'm going to go get my buddy back.
Thank you, Nicky Dubs.
I'll get you back!
Wow.
On the board, Nicky Dubs.
Nicky Dubs. Well, I don't know how we...
Jennings County, Avon, Cathedral.
Get out of here!
What?
Sorry about that. I hope he didn't say anything stupid. But,
Wow.
he's crazy. He's a crazy person, that guy. But he's really passionate about wrestling, if you haven't noticed.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Hopefully you have some bail money for him.
Yeah, you know, I'm really... I let him stay here one night, and then... You know, he's like that brother you just can't leave. You get rid of. It's really annoying, but...
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I have friends like that, I think.
What are you going to do? But yeah, you know, I kind of heard a little bit while I was over there doing my thing in the office area. And yeah, you know, I got to agree. It's going to be a great tournament. I can't wait to see the draws. It's a shame it's on a Sunday. I knew we wanted to do kind of a fun thing where we have all the Brownsburg kids and we look for the draws kind of like what they do for the basketball tournament. So I don't know if that's going to be able to go through or not. We're going to ask some questions to the AD or not. But
they do that for basketball and stuff. I know that they have their draw, so you might, as long as it's not reviewing development stuff.
We're asking the questions, so we're going to see. But
yeah, so no, that's be a cool thing to do. Obviously, talk about 3A, 1As, Prairie Heights, how bad they're going to beat whoever's in the finals. That's the honest truth. They're tough.
They are.
Awesome to see them do well. They're great coaches, great people. Those kids are just hard-nosed farm boys that will chuck you like a bale of hay, for lack of better words.
I guess I'm more curious to see if in 2A is this the year that Yorktown gets dethroned. They've had a couple big losses, and it's you know, Belmont's had a couple big wins. You know, it could be the year that Yorktown goes down to Belmont championship.
We have a lot of guys tonight that are really excited for that. The big Belmont fans.
Yeah, oh yes, it's gonna be on Belmont and Belmont's home turf too. So there's gonna be some rowdy Decatorites there. That'll be an interesting match if they even get there. I mean, there's some good teams at 1A or 2A that's gonna be giving them, you know, gonna want to take their shots at them. I'm just looking up who's at 2A because past those two teams, it seems. You
got South Dearborn, Delta, Peru, Northmont, Leo.
Yeah.
And Leo gave Belmont all they could handle.
Oh,
Yeah.
they tied them, and it came down to the last match, and in Belmont's Bryce Bumgarner got a pin with 10 seconds to go to tie it, and then end up coming down to their 1-0, their 113, end up getting the first takedown, even though he got pinned. So even though he got pinned, he technically won the match. So I think Leo's kind of pretty good. They wrestled this weekend, and they didn't get to see Yorktown, but they beat without a couple other guys. They did beat they beat Elkhart Memorial by 8, and then Memorial, I think, lost to, obviously the transitive properties always works great. Memorial lost to Yorktown by 7, so, you don't always like using that transitive property, but Leo's probably, a 2 or 3 seed there, so they might run right into Belmont again. Depends on how those seeds work out. And Leo's pretty tough, and that was without their 38-pounder, who I guess went on vacation or whatever. So it was pretty tough. So that'll be an interesting weekend. Delta's tough. They have some horses. North Montgomery's always good. Lebanon has some good kids. Evansville Memorial, I know they have some losses, but I don't know if they've had their full team. They had a good weekend this past weekend. So pretty good. 2A is going to be interesting. I mean, and it comes down, Yorktown's going to have to be wrestling well, they have some really good kids, but they also have some guys that, they're going to need to pull through for them. So that'll be interesting. With that, we've gone way over what I intended. Any last comments, words of wisdom?
I have a kitty.
I didn't ask you to get a kitty. No. I'm glad your friend Nicky Nubbs didn't take the kitty.
He knows that's fine. Nasty Nicky Nubbs. He's like I said. He's got a slight drug problem. So we just keep him away from the animal.
But does he have Miss Elizabeth though?
Again, like I said, he has a slight drug problem. So.
We just went to PG-13.
Yes. Any words of wisdom, Mike? I guess you're going to be on the road this next week. Probably play Al Smith. You're going to try to hit that up, and then Fort Wayne, come to God's country. Hometowns of the two of the greatest people you know.
I know. I wonder what they're doing this week. I just appreciate all the messages. We were talking a little bit in the pre-show about how many messages and stuff we get, and I truly appreciate it. I try to respond to everyone. It really helps. Even if you feel like it's a small little bit, it really helps. So I always appreciate that. Get to go out. The Trike-Off, we have to see a lot of people that really appreciate what we do, and sometimes you think you're just doing a little bit, and you get that real appreciation, and which is awesome. So I'm sure it'll be the same at Dallas Smith. We'll see some people, and they'll be like, you guys are great. We love the show. Or Team State, it'll be the same thing. So we really appreciate everyone that tunes in and checks it out and comes to the site and all that. So.
You agree. You think you're pretty.
What'd she say?
Oh.
She's just saying that I'm really conceited.
She's your bodyguard. It should be. I'm excited for this next week. It's going to be a grind for some of those teams that are going to 2 tournaments. You're going Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday of just the toughest tournaments you can think of. I know for us it's going to be a fun week. We got scheduled practices and stuff like that, so it'll be good. I'm excited. We'll be back Sunday, 8 p.m. I believe, and we're going to be doing all of the draws in one show, so it's just going to be Mike, me, and Dane. We're going to dissect the brackets, pick our winners, talk about matchups we're going to like to see. Obviously, the 1A will be pretty easy. We're going to say Prairie Heights, and then might as well just make an all-star team with the rest of the teams, because it might get pretty ugly pretty quickly. Anyway, after that, we will talk to you guys. We'll see you guys Sunday. If you guys have results, email them to Mike. He likes messages. And
I like to make friends.
Yes, and Nick, tell your buddy Nicky Nubbs.
It's Nicky Nubbs.
Tell him he did a good job. So we'll see you guys in a few days. Have a good Christmas, and we will see you guys Sunday.